Okay. So in our house, maybe in our department or in our instruments, we want to charge our cell phone also. For charging the cell phone, there is adapter is required because we require only 6 volt of potential is enough to charge the cell phone. And also we want to use radio, 6 volts of potential is enough. But how many voltage is coming into the house? 220 volt, that's right. 220 volt of potential is coming into the house from the substation. But if that 220 volt is sent directly to the cell phone, then what happens? Yeah, it blasts because it cannot obey or cannot bear such kind of high voltage. So some instrument is required to convert from higher voltage into the lower voltage. That is 220 volt into the 6 volt. To change that instrument is required. That instrument is called transformer. So we are not only here. May you say in the substation there is some name board. Can anyone observe? There in the substation there is 132 by 33 kV substation, the big substation. And in addition to that, there is one more substation, that is 33 by 11 kV substation. What is it? This meant by 132 by 33 kV substation? It is nothing but the input of the potential is 133 kilovolt. If that 133 kilovolt directly sent into the houses, then what happens? All the instruments blast. So at that position, at substation, that 133 kilovolt will be converted into 33 kilovolt by using the big transformer. It is nothing but the transformer converts 133 kilovolt into 33 kilovolt. Of course, that 33 kilovolt is also very, very high. So that adjacent to that substation, one more small substation we have. That substation board is the 33 by 11 kV substation. It means that 33 kilovolts potential converted into the 11 kilovolt by using one more transformer. So here also we require a transformer. Of course, that 11 kilovolt is also very, very high to utilize at a domestic level. 11 kilovolt, that is 11,000 volt, that is very, very high. So what can we do? That 11 kilovolt we want to convert into the 220 volt potential what we require at a domestic level. How can we convert? There is small transformers will be given at the streets. At the streets you observe there is a 11 kV to 220 volt converter transformers are there. Of course, when we are besides our college, we observe that there is a transformer opposite to the TTD Kalyan Mandapam. That transformer converts the 11 kilovolt potential into the 220 volt. That is enough to our house's purpose. Of course, in our domestic purpose, that 220 volt is will be used for the bulbs, tube lights, fans, etc. But in our domestic purpose, in all electronic instruments, that is 220 volt is very, very high. For cell phone charging, only 6 volt is enough. What can we do? We are using adapter. Adapter comprising what we have? There is a transformer which will convert 220 volt into 6 volt. Not only that, in all electronic instruments we require DC. Direct current is required. So there is a converter from alternating current into direct current. So that is called rectifier. Diode will be used. Of course, this rectifier will be analyzed or will be discussed in the electronics chapter. So this is a transformer very, very useful to understand or to convert from higher voltage into the lower voltage. Not only that, to convert from lower voltage into the higher voltage also we require transformer. Because at the power stations, maybe the thermal power station, maybe hydel power station, maybe nuclear power station, maybe solar power plants, where very low voltage will be generated. Very low voltage will be generated. When low voltage, when we want to transfer from one place to another place, energy losses is more. So what they will do? They will increase the voltage for the transport purpose. So to increase the voltage from something 500 kilovolt of potential is generated, it is increases to somehow 5 volt or 500 volt is there. We want to increase to something 133 kilovolt. One more transformer is required. So there is two types of transformers we have. One is to increase the voltage, that is a step up transformer. One more to decrease the voltage, that is a step down transformer. So now in this chapter, it means in this concept, we will discuss about what is transformer, what is the principle behind the transformer, what is the formula behind the transformer, we will discuss now. So our topic is transformer. What is this transformer? What is the principle behind this? The principle behind the transformer is mutual induction. Already we discussed this mutual induction. Of course, mutual induction and self-induction also we discussed. Mutual induction is nothing but if there is two coils near to each other. There is two coils very near to each other. This is one coil. There is one more coil. When current is passing through the first coil, that is called primary coil, is varying. The current which is passing through the primary coil is varying. And EMF is induced in the secondary coil, that is called secondary coil. And electromotive force is induced in the secondary coil. This phenomena is called mutual induction. So that mutual induction principle will be used in the construction of the transformer. So what is this principle? What is the transformer used? To convert from higher voltage into the lower voltage and without changing its frequency. Without changing its frequency. So frequency does not change. When that voltage change from higher voltage into the lower voltage or lower voltage into the higher voltage. But current changes. So of course you may observe transformer in our radios also. There is a core. There is a core. There is two coils wound on the core. This is one coil. This is one more coil. This is called primary coil. This is called secondary coil. This primary coil is connected to the input source, that is alternating current, whose potential is taken as V1. Of course, his EMF is maybe taken as E1 of course. That is alternating current because the transformers works only alternating current. The secondary coil is connected to the load. What is this load? Load is nothing but with the application will be used. For example, you want to charge cell phone. So this is the cell phone. We want to utilize for a TV. So this is the TV. Because we want only 6 volt. For example, this is alternating current which is coming from the transformer, that is 220 volt. Will be converted into the required voltage, but is for cell phone this is 6 volt. So to convert from 220 volt into 6 volt, the middle of the circuit is only enough this. So what is happening here? There is a coil. Of course, it is electrically insulated but magnetically linked. Electrically insulated wire will be wound on the common core. Of course, this is also electrically insulated core, but there is magnetically linked. So this is called core. Okay, this is the primary coil. This is called secondary coil. So what is happening in here? When this alternating current is passing through the primary coil, alternating current is nothing but, so this is the x-axis we have taken, this is the y-axis, alternating current is like this. There is positive half cycles as well as negative half cycles. When alternating current is increased up to here and decreased to 0, and the direction is changing, it is minus and it is again 0. It is nothing but there is alternating current variation is there. When alternating current changes, or maybe when current changes in the primary coil, the current magnetic flux changes. Because we discussed in the Faraday's law, or electromagnetic induction principle, when current passing through the coil, there is magnetic field exists around it. Am I right? There is nothing but magnetic flux exists. When this current changes, magnetic flux also changes. This same magnetic flux is linked with the secondary coil. When current changes, magnetic flux changes. When magnetic flux changes, current induced in this secondary coil. Current induced in the secondary coil. This is called mutual induction, I told you. Now, how much voltage is there? So, according to the Faraday's second formula, what is Faraday's second law? An EMF induced in the secondary coil is equal to minus d pi by dt, rate of change of magnetic flux, where minus represents a direction, that is of course length. Am I right? E is equal to minus d pi by dt. If there are n terms, an EMF induced E is equal to minus n into d pi by dt. Where we are using alternating current is nothing but sinusoidal. There is a sine waveform. So the current can be written as I is equal to I naught sine omega t, because there is a sine curve. If there is alternating current is nothing but there is magnetic flux is also alternating. That is nothing but a sinusoidal. So the magnetic flux pi can be written as pi is equal to pi m sine omega. T is the time, omega is the frequency, of course angular frequency. But we know angular frequency omega is equal to 2 pi f. So that pi is equal to pi m into sine 2 pi f into t. This is the frequency of the alternating current or frequency of the magnetic flux. When we substitute this into this equation, an EMF induced in this is equal to minus n into d by dt of pi m sine 2 pi f t. Am I right? Now, that is E is equal to minus n into d by dt of pi m is constant. Differentiation of sine 2 pi f t. Cos 2 pi f t into differentiation of 2 pi f t. That is 2 pi f. Am I right? So that is E is equal to minus n 2 pi f pi m into cos 2 pi f t. Of course, this is in cos term, this is in sin term. So if we make it, of course it is converted to sin term, that is minus n 2 pi f pi sin 90 minus theta. Am I right? Cos the sin 90 minus theta is equal to cos theta. That is sin 90 minus, that is pi by 2 minus 2 pi f. Of course, there is also minus, that can be written as E is equal to n into 2 pi f pi m sin, it will be written as 2 pi f t minus pi by 2. Okay, right? When comparing these two equations, that is equation 1, this is equation 2, what is difference? There is phase difference is pi by 2 lags. Phase difference pi by 2 lags. So, an EMF induced in this circuit lags pi by 2 radian than the magnetic flux. Am I right? Now, what is the maximum EMF induced in the secondary coil? That is maximum EMF. E maximum is equal to, we know what is the maximum value of sin theta? 1. That is good. That is capital N into 2 pi f into pi m. This is called transformer EMF equation. This is called transformer EMF equation. Now, in case of the secondary primary coil, there is N1 turns. There are N1 turns. In the secondary coil, there is N2 turns. EMF induced in the primary coil, that is taken as E1 is equal to N1 into 2 pi F pi M. Of course, E1. Why I am saying N1 is the number of turns in the primary coil. Frequency does not change. Because in the transformer, when we convert from higher voltage in the lower voltage, from one circuit to another circuit, voltage changes but frequency does not change. And in the second coil, that may be taken as E2 is equal to N2 into 2 pi F into pi M. Then, of course, this may be taken as that is equation 3, that is equation 4. By dividing these two equations, that is A1 by E2 is equal to N1 to pi F pi M by N2 2 pi F pi M, where these terms are cancelled, that E1 by E2 is equal to N1 by N2. Of course, this is taken as A. This is called transformer ratio. This is called transformer ratio. This is the required equation for the functioning of the transformer. Either it may be worked as a step up transformer or step down transformer, depending on this principle. So according to this equation, if N2 is greater than N1, then what happens? N2 is greater than N1 is nothing but number of turns in the secondary is more than the number of turns in the primary. If N2 is more is nothing but A is less than 1. Am I right? N1 is less, N2 is more, that is nothing but A is less than 1. In this case, E1 is less than E2. E1 is less than E2. Is nothing but voltage increases. Voltage increases. That is nothing but step up transformer. So you want to increase the voltage, number of turns in the secondary is more than the number of turns in the primary. And in the second case, if N1 is greater than N2, N1 is greater than N2, then what happens? N1 is more is nothing but A is greater than 1. It is nothing but E1 is greater than E2. It is nothing but EMF or voltage, potential voltage of the secondary less than the voltage of the primary. It is nothing but voltage decreases. Voltage decreases is nothing but this is the step down transformer. So in all our domestic purposes, we are using step down transformers. Not only here, at the substation also, we are using step down transformer to decrease the voltage. So what is the efficiency of this transformer? Efficiency is nothing but already we know that efficiency is equal to output power to the input power. Output power to the input power. We know power P is equal to voltage into current. Voltage into current. So that the efficiency of the transformer is equal to V2 I2 by V1 I1, where V2 I2 are potential and currents of the output side and V1 I1 are the potential and current of the primary side. That gives the efficiency of the transformer. Am I right? That is the transformer we discussed.